everybody, and welcome back once again to Let's Play Pathfinder Kingmaker. Yes, here we are. Oh, I just finished work a little bit earlier today because I did actually work today, but I'm still feeling a little bit under the weather. Not as bad as yesterday, but still not on top form, so I finished a little bit earlier. So I'm recording this session at a nice healthy 10 to 3. And I literally was about to hit the record button and a message came through on my phone, a little notification, so I picked my phone up and it was an email, so I checked my email, it was a YouTube notification. And it was a message from Ollie, who said that we drew my attention to the armour that we threw on Linzi in the last session. It just has made me laugh because I'm almost picturing the conversation that happened as Elquist insisted that Linzi wear this armour, and she was, I don't think I wish to wear this, Elquist, because this armour, I don't know, it's just got a strange aura about it. Elquist, who's supposed to be the expert in detecting magic, was like, no, Linzi, it's perfectly fine. What are they talking about? Look at this, it's made for a person such as you. It'd be fantastic. It's come from a dragon's stash. I mean, it's bound to be useful and very expensive. Put it on. And, well, she's put it on, and this is the issue with it. Gentle persuasion, what a name as well. Basically, this armour has a condition attached to it. And the condition is that the armour is cursed, for a start, and that's never a good sign, to steer the wearer towards evil, choking the life out of them every time they, or one of their associates, does a good action, reducing their constitution by 2 each time to a minimum of 1. Only committing an evil act can provide relief, removing the constitution penalty and giving 10 temporary hit points instead. Which is an issue, because we don't tend to do that many evil actions. We can unequip this, but we have to do a remove curse spell at a DC 33 caster level check. So, slightly problematic. Only slightly, because we should be able to remove that with a level 33 check, right? Because we're casting at a 16, which means that we have to roll, actually, an 870. Okay, it's not easy. It's not impossible, but it's not easy. We need to buff Tristian as much as possible. It's a DC 33 check. It's not a skill check either. It's a spell DC check. So regular buffing type things won't help him. I mean, does a spell such as great or an ability, that's the word I'm looking for, an ability such as, for instance, Linzi's greater heroism, for example, does that help with like DC saves? I'm not sure. We're going to have to fathom it out. But the first task is to actually memorize as many remove curses as possible. So literally, we're going to have to remove everything from here and put in tons of them because it's difficult to remove the armor. I think a DC check is equivalent to the caster level, which is 16, plus the level of the spell, which is 3. So that'd be 19. And then it's a DC of 33, so it's another 14 on top. So it's a 14 and above, actually, to be fair. I think it's 14 and above for the DC check. Well, I mean, we'll see it when we try to cast it on Linzi for the precise number. But I'm thinking it's spell level plus caster level, plus any additional bonuses. Right. Okay. So, yeah, it's difficult to take off. Not impossible, but, you know, we could cast it 6 times and still fail 6 times. It's all part and parcel of the fun. So Linzi was right and Elquist was wrong. Clearly, as she was insisting that she shouldn't wear this armour, Elquist wasn't listening and insisted that she wear it now, having got back here. Probably something like the storyteller who's well-versed in historical items is like, what the hell is she wearing that for? What do you mean? Do you know what this is? Clearly I know what it is. It's a weapon of... It's an armour of great import and... exceptional quality. We took it from a dragon horde. Yes, that's exactly what it is. Anyway, he's been made aware of this fact now, and now he looks like a fool. I mean, Elquist has looked like a fool several times throughout this playthrough, so this shouldn't be anything new. But this is probably a new high for his level of foolishness, even by his standards. But anyway, there you go. So, I just found that absolutely hilarious. Right, okay, so without further ado, a quick mention that we have leveled up our characters and we are about to embark upon a new mission. Because as we ended the last session, I can't remember if this was after the session had finished or during the session ending, but we ended up with an update to this quest. We have now finished preparing for the ritual, and we can now visit the storyteller to go on a trip where we've never ventured before. So we're going back into the first world, folks. Whoopee! My favourite place. In preparation for going into the first world, which is full of Fae, of course, we have given Ekundio, at this level up, another rank in Favoured Enemy Fae. So he's now got 3 ranks in Favoured Enemy Fae, which gives us extra chances to... It says to bonuses. I'm assuming that's bonuses to hit. Oh, attack and damage. So he's got +6 to attack and damage against Fae, in addition to the fact that he's got a weapon, a quiver, that also does extra damage to Fae. So he's our Fae Slayer. So that's good. So fear not, folks. Ekundio shall see us through the first world, hopefully unscathed. Right. Aha! I hear everything is now ready in the dream ritual, but however, I am going to leave you to your legends because I forgot to rest and allow Tristian to memorize the remove cursed spell that I've asked him to memorize for my foolishness. So let's go do that now, shall we? Oh dear. On the other hand, there's some positive news to bring you with this introduction. And the positive news is we've bought some butter and milk and flour and eggs, just in case we run out of those staples in the field. So we can make more of our dishes that we wish to make now because we have the required ingredients. Okay? Yes, that was more incompetence on Elquist's part, because how often have we left this place without butter? Well, not anymore. Okay? Right, here we go. So once again, we approach the storyteller some 8 hours later, saying, now we're ready to enter the dream world. Ah, how unusual. I do not collect a story, but help create it. Good luck, your highness, and may the gods guide your way. Your voice is sounding a bit croaky, storyteller. Yes, well, I had a cough, you see, and I'm just recovering. Where the hell are we? Why does our bedroom look so different? Oh, of course, we can only go with Linzi and Elquist. I forgot about that bit. Linzi with her cursed armour. Wow, it worked. We did it. I can't even get to the high-pitched tones of Linzi. Obviously, my cough has subsided. Even just 24 hours later, I feel much better. My cough has subsided a little bit, but because I was coughing so much yesterday, it's made my throat really raspy. So doing deep voices today, really easy. Doing Linzi's voice, bit of a challenge. But anyway, let's go and see what's lying in store for us here. Let's just hope that we don't get forced into doing anything too good, because Linzi will be in agony.
Our sister.
Oh.
Our mistress.
Oh.
Our queen.
Yeah. Nerissa.
Our sister.
Stands before us.
Our mistress.
Time's not waiting.
Hail to our queen.
Yes, well.
Stop calling me that. In the darkest hours and the brightest days, you simply called me sister. I need no other title. Your songs and laughter accompanied me in my happiest moments. I would rather not shift them to honorifics. The time of my triumph is nigh, sisters. I want to share it with you as I have always shared my secrets, my sorrows, and my joys. Even after I become an eldest, I shall not abandon you. My realm will be the kingdom of spring, love, and life, and you will all be most welcome there.
The time of my triumph is nigh. So she's striving to become an eldest. Now, we've seen a couple of eldists when we did that quest of the trials, didn't we?
Be happy, sister. Be victorious, sister.
Wow, we're inside her dream. Maybe we should try talking to her. She may not quite be the real Nyrissa, but that's kind of the point. In her dreams, she can let out the things she would never say in the real world.
And once again, we've cocked up because we should have probably cast Inspire Competence before approaching here. Or did we get a chance to? I think we did get a chance to walk up, so we could have cast. I mean, we didn't know that we were going to. I don't know. I'm struggling to think whether we should have had the foresight to do that, actually. To give us +2 to any kind of speech checks, given how badly we sucked in the tavern when we were trying to root out the propagandists with our with our dice roll of 1s. But hey ho, Elquist, unaided, shall have to manoeuvre any conversation with grace and prowess.
Be careful, Nyrissa. You have always been the bravest of us, and none deserve to be an eldest more than you. But these ambitions may come with a steep price.
Okay, we've got a named fellow nymph here.
Perhaps I have always been the bravest, Devindra, but you have always been the grumpiest. We are blessed with eternal life, but we keep living out each day, abiding by rules we had no hand in creating. My plan is daring, you say? Well then, so be it.
Okay, I wonder how far back this dream is.
I simply pray we do not end up paying a price we cannot bear.
The cheerful voices of the nymphs fade away and the vision seems to freeze. A ghostly Nyrissa stands before you, her eyes seeming to see you without noticing you. What have you done to your sisters, Nyrissa?
What I did to them is paltry compared with what was done to me. But you cannot understand. No one can. Just go away.
Okay.
Hey!
Oh. What? We've got to face 3 defaced sisters on literally our own? Are you kidding me? Right, this turn-based. Have we saved? I think we saved. I think we saved. 3 times. Oh, Elquist is immune to agonized wail. Is that a self-buff? I don't know. Okay, let's forget that. Let's just... I'm debating whether we should actually go into defensive mode. So that would obviously hinder our opportunities to hit them, but it would give us better chances of not being hit. They probably would do magic attacks rather than AC-based attack. We'll see. Anyway, we'll just do what we can. We've got 6 attacks here. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Linzi, just shoot these things. They die easily.
Serves you right.
Stunning glance. We should be careful. Dreams are already full of monsters. I dread to think what we might find in Narissa's head. It's fine, Linzi. It's fine. No need to panic. Just a couple of issues. Why are we... ooh, I thought we crashed for a second there. Okay. A lesser Jabberwock.
Finish me, scum. I will not bow my head.
Not. Can the self-proclaimed queen not fight off a mere animal of the kennel. I come not to kill you. A trial awaits you, trespasser. I shall simply make sure you get there, without getting lost along the way.
Oh. Okay, so it's the same cycle. I think we might have to approach this.
I wrote it like I saw
Okay,
it.
we'll approach it with some buffs this time. And I'm going to actually cast some other buffs that last a little while too. So, Good Hope. Remove Fear could be a good one. Okay, and even Mirror.
Finish me, scum! I will not bow my head!
In fact, we could just go for greater heroism for Elquist, to be fair. And haste we can cast a little bit later.
Animal of the kennel.
Right, let's see what's going on here.
I come not to
I cannot lose!
a trial await. I was sent by the eldest.
Get ready.
Oh, so we have to move through the various
What troubles you?
stages here.
Get scared. Learn.
Viscount Smolderburn! Isn't that the very same Smolderburn that attacked us in the old Sycamore place? Count Shimmerglow. That's the very same Count Shimmerglow that we fought somewhere? Wasn't it on top of the Candlemere Lake, possibly? Shika the Many. Marquis Dazzlelight, Magnus the Three, the Lost Prince, or Duke Dazzleflare.
Listen to me, trespasser. You sought a kingdom. I seek something simpler. Apology.
Guilty. Doom. Lost. Cursed.
As you sought to steal a kingdom for yourself, so must you do again. 1,000 times over. For a theft, a true theft, must be practiced to be earned. It will be a lengthy task. This is how it shall be measured.
Thou remember. Do it.
Make ruins of kingdoms. When each is dust, the grains shall gather in this vessel. When 1,000 grains are gathered, bring it before us as an offering, so that an eldest may sip from it.
Sins. Ashes. Dust. Eternity.
When that is done, your trespass shall be forgiven.
Where will I find so many nations? It is...
An impossible task? How? Let your unrequited love guide you. Guided you to your first kingdom, so it shall again. Seek it, hunt for it, lust for it. Let the emptiness inside you become your deadliest weapon. It is not an impossible task. After all, what use is an apology that cannot ever be given?
Given. Curse. 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 Get ready. Get scared. Learn. Listen.
Listen to me, trespasser. You sought a kingdom. I seek something simpler. Apology.
Guilty.
Guilty. Doomed. Is this just a repeat now?
As you sought to steal a kingdom for yourself,
Carry on.
so must you do again, 1,000 times over. For a theft, a true theft, must be practiced to be earned.
Cursed.
Okay.
Cursed. Cursed. Did I truly deserve all this?
So it sounds like to me that she sought a kingdom, or maybe tried to steal a kingdom. This is maybe what her sisters were telling her about, and also in addition to that, maybe she strove to become an elder. Maybe that was part of her plan to become an elder. I don't know, but and then obviously she was tired. We've seen this before in the first world. This Lantern King making mention of this apology that is required for her to crumble 1,000 kingdoms to dust. Can't remember. I don't think we got the information about the elders sipping on this goblet of ashes, essentially. Hence why she's on this path to basically make sure that kingdoms crumble to dust in a kind of a cycle, because she's lives eternally, and therefore kingdom rise, kingdom fall, kingdom rise, kingdom, and every time it does that, it's an extra 1 towards 1,000, isn't it? Okay. So we could play the sympathetic line here. Breaks my heart. I mean, it's a bit strong. Breaks our heart. Really? Does it break our heart? Not specifically. She could well have refused to comply. So she's definitely has some part in the guilt. Guilty of foolish. Oh, now this would be a line to use, wouldn't it? I'm gonna have to use this line with Elquist, because as somebody who has made foolish decisions himself throughout his time, one perhaps very, very recently as just discussed, he would be the last person you would expect to give advice on one being foolish. Pot kettle black and all that, but hey, he can't help himself. He speaks from experience. It takes a fool to know a fool.
So many would me. For someone who cannot comprehend the burden of the curse, you assume far too much. Burn!
Now that's rather interesting, because if we'd have picked an option that was classed as good, Linzi would have suffered a penalty. So that was rather fortunate that this was considered a lawful evil action.
Enemy approaching.
Uh-oh. Oh no! Okay, they're not doing that much damage. Oh good, missed. You see, we'd already buffed for a fight. It's fine. 6 damage. It's fine. We were buffed for a fight. Not a problem. I haven't got any AOE attacks. Something AOE based. Could kill them all in one blow. Linzi doesn't have AOE stuff. Doesn't glitter dust an AOE attack? No, it just covers them in something. This is kind of an AoE attack. We could hit 2 in a line, but they're immune to lightning. They cast lightning damage, so just shots it is.
This should do it.
Okay.
My
Ooh.
lady, there's nothing we can do. The powers of those who've hidden the Briar exceed our own in many ways.
Why search for that which has ruined me? He said, let your unrequited love guide you to the doomed kingdoms. No, I will not search any longer, but I must find it. Come now, start searching. It must be here in the Stolen Lands. Thousands of years searching. And for what? You were a part of me. What are you now? Once a branch has broken off, it cannot be reattached. How could I be so foolish?
Well, we called her a fool and she got upset about it. Now she's calling herself a fool.
Nothing we can do. The powers of those who've hidden the briar exceed our own. in
The
many
briar,
ways.
hidden the briar.
Search for that which has ruined me. He said, I told them to stop. Your unrequited love them to search. It is pointless. Why do I need this? Do you see now? Do you see? They ripped my heart out and threw it into your world. And something else was torn out with it.
Ah. Okay, just clarifying what she's looking for here. Although I've got an inkling.
Something that was stolen from me. Do you believe the aim of my curse was the destruction of your pathetic kingdoms? No, that was merely a path towards redemption. The curse, it deprived me of a part of my soul. The most important part. Ripped from me, crippled, mutilated, and turned into an artifact. The briar.
The briar. The briar? Kindness? Soul? Heart? What is it?
No, something deeper. Brighter,
Love.
I suppose. I only know the sound of this word, but not its meaning. A burning word. A stupid word. Love.
The only thing that seems to have to use your mind. Okay. This is still pressing on with the line that you were foolish, and then this is now, well, yes, but you had a choice. You are responsible for your own crimes. Just because you're looking for something or whatever, trying to achieve something, doesn't mean that absolves you of your sins. Perhaps. Perhaps all is not lost. I mean, how far do we kick her when she... This is her dreams, don't forget. How far do we kick her down in her dreams? Before we maybe try to win her over, or maybe even assist her, if it means that... Obviously this Lantern King, I would assume, would be the one we face at the end, rather than this pawn here. Okay, do you know what? Let's take a more reparation-based approach. Expressing that perhaps there is something that we can do. Perhaps all is not lost. Neutral good. I just got an achievement for that. The good guy. Oh, then Linzi winces. Are you alright there, Linzi? Your words resound with an unexpectedly loud echo. Seemingly influenced by them, the surrounding world begins to change. Oh, interesting. In the eerie silence following the king's last words, we hear a strange, melodic chime. The world around us began melting into a colourful whirlwind. The insidious nymph Nerissa was gone. The visions of her servants faded away like candle smoke. I instantly realised what was happening. We were being drawn to the deepest level of the dream. In places like these, secret memories and desires could be hidden, sometimes not even known to their owner. What incredible luck to make it there. But would we be able to return? We found ourselves in a flat area among glistening pale green rocks. The areas of lush vegetation spotting the rocks were easily recognisable as flowers of the first world. Beneath the cliffs, a forest of white trees with sky-blue leaves could be seen. In the distance, the sharp spires of an ornate castle reached into colourful clouds. As we watched, the castle trembled and very slowly began moving away. It was built on the back of a huge, enormously huge three-eyed elephant with branching tusks. I turned and realized that we had also changed our shapes. Obeying the laws of the dream, our king had turned into a magnificent and powerful dragon, of course. But what had I become? The king met my gaze and said, "Linzi, you look exactly like a flying inkwell. Even in the dream you're penning our memoirs." The sun blazed across the golden scales of a dragon, reflecting thousands of sunspots all around. Feeling the full power of his new guise, the king immediately tried. What's the first thing you would do as a dragon? Fly or breathe fire? I mean, breathing fire would destroy things. I'd probably... let's try taking off first. Oh, for God's sake. But not every skill can be mastered on the first try. Waving his magnificent wings, the dragon flew a bit, but he quickly flapped back and made a clearing amongst the vines and flowers. Who needs to fly, the king said. Perhaps I'll try breathing fire. The golden dragon froze for a moment before exhaling a cone of blistering flame. It blossomed along the rocks like 1,000 fire-coloured flowers, and the magical crystal cliffs of the first world reflected them like a mirror. I hurried to record the first steps of the new king in his new brilliant appearance. I managed to use earth, leaves, and even some steep rocks as a canvas. Honestly, being a flying inkwell wasn't half bad. While reflecting on a particularly precise metaphor from our height, I noticed that in the middle of the sun-dappled forest of summer, there was a small island of winter. Amid the snow and ice, a small flock of little fae were hiding something that resembled a sparkling casket. In case it ended up being important, I took the liberty of sketching the place and committing it to memory. This could be her briar. Meanwhile, the king decided to try. A melodic laugh suddenly rang out of nowhere, not offensive, but rather inspiring. It seemed someone was watching the king's attempts. It was none other than Nerissa herself approaching, but something in her appearance was strikingly different from the insidious, cold-blooded villain we'd come to know. There was no shadow of arrogance or anger in her face, just cheerful sparkles in her bright blue eyes. "I am glad to meet new guests in my domain. Greetings." She didn't seem to recognize us at all. "Ah, so this is your realm?" "Oh, yes." The nymph pointed to the forest below with an elegant gesture. Obeying her will, all the trees immediately changed their colours, turning from white and blue to red and gold, and then to an elegant green. "I am Nerissa. This is my 1,000 breaths." She scooped up the fire, still burning in places after the dragon's breath, and rolled it in her hands, turning it into a flower. A wild rose with glowing petals. Before our eyes, the flower took root and spread across the nearest rock. "I like you, stranger. Will you stay with me? Soon I will become something much more than I am now. Soon my domain will become larger and more beautiful, its borders open to the bravest, most wonderful creatures, all with blazing souls. Together we will create a dreamland unlike any the First World has ever known." Silence fell for a moment before the king finally replied. No, it's a completely crazy plan. I have the foresight of the future here. Do not do it. Give it up, or you'll lose everything. For a moment, doubt flashed in the beautiful eyes of the nymph, but then she spoke with an unprecedented ardency, as though trying to convince the king or perhaps herself. "I will not give up. Not a chance. Even a simple drop of water lives a more interesting life than we children of the First World. A drop may ascend and fall, freeze and melt, dance with lightning in the storm, or create a rainbow. We are capable of much more, but we live out each day without trying to change anything in the world or in our destiny. I want more. I will achieve more. I will become one of the eldest. I will create the realm of my dreams. As Nerissa spoke, the scene blurred in a mosaic of colours, and her voice began sounding more distant, fading away. For a moment, there was darkness, and we found ourselves in a completely different place, but it seemed vaguely familiar. The stone platform with the pedestal in the middle. That was something we'd already seen in the first world, back when we were looking for a way to get rid of the ever-blooming flower. As in that old vision, Nerissa sat on the pedestal, her head bowed low, just a shadow of the proud and powerful nymph we'd spoken with but recently. The place she sat literally emanated an intense pressure and a feeling of stiffness. My guess is it was some sort of magical prison. As we approached, Nerissa raised her head and she spoke in a muffled voice. "You! I remember you. Our meeting is the last of my bright memories, the effervescent dream. Afterward, there was a battle. My sisters slain by the monster with such ease, like wind extinguishing candles, defeat and pain. Why have you come? To relish in my despair?" Okay. We started the reparations, we'll continue. No, don't succumb to evil and despair, Nerissa. No! Don't succumb! Rise! Rise above it! Only then will you have a chance. Something strange shone in the nymph's eyes. It was as if the words of the king had been imprinted somewhere deep in her soul. With these final words, the vision faded, taking us back to where we had entered this crazy world of melting dreams.
My Skylark, your song is sad today. What happened? Once young deer have barely grown their antlers. They face their fathers in fierce combat. Have you ever seen it? The time has come. You are a stag now, not some defenseless fawn. Go. Go and fight. You were born for glory, my wolf cub. There is room in this world for all sorts of different birds.
So these are all of the key players that she has manipulated through time. Tristian,
But the peacock displays
Armagh,
bright feathers to outshine them all. Be my peacock. Shine. You will become a king whose glory shall overshadow all within the river kingdoms. If you lose, my heart stops along with yours. My Skylark, your song is sad today.
Yeah, so we've got Tristian, we've got Armagh,
Deer have
we've got
barely
ourselves,
grown antlers. They face their fathers in fierce
Stag
combat.
Lord, and of
Have you
course,
seen it? The time has
Iravetti.
come. You are a stag now, not some defenseless fawn.
That is not far.
Go and fight. So easily trapped. Stags and wolves, skylarks and peacocks.
I mean, obviously we know this already, of course. It's just what kind of a zoo have you set up here? Armagh, Tristian, the Stag Lord, Iravetti, all turned against me because of you.
I was there with you from the very first steps you made into the stolen lands. I've created a nice cage of magical fog around you. Sent you my Skylark, helped you kill my stag, guided you through dreams and visions. And I pitted my wolf and my peacock against you.
So he's the peacock, is old Iravetti. We'll have to remember that nickname when we next see him.
Does it not please you, my hound? I gave you so much prey to chase. But what I have done matters little when compared to why I have done it. I have already lost track of so much time. For so many centuries I sought out those like you. The ambitious and bold. Those who believe they can change the world, or at least rule it. I seek them, grant them power, lead them to triumph, and then push them into the abyss.
I shall be victorious.
Okay, we've got to deal with the all the oh. Okay, here's a Stag Lord. Down goes another one. Okay, here comes our Marg. Linzi? No, my turn. Let me get involved in the action. Have at you, Armag! Okay, it's Iravetti's turn. Have at you, Iravetti! Oof! And finally, ourself. Linzi? No! Stand back, Linzi. I shall deal with this. We're coming up. I mean, closer. I mean, we're approaching the real Nerissa. Who's now crying?
One more grain. And another grain. This one took 100 years to obtain. And that one was just a week. The first bears the blood of 3 generations burned in war. The second, just 2 well-chosen words. And 1 little betrayal.
So she's counting all the grains that she's got in here. How close to 1,000 are we?
This will never end. Never! Do you see this cup? It has a name, you know. The Apology. Within it is the Stag Lord and his crazy dream to become a king and take me as his queen. And Armag and his never-born barbarian empire. Who will fall in next? Pitax and its Peacock King? Or you?
Or how about neither? I know your story now, Nerissa. I know exactly what's going on here. But unfortunately, what I don't know is how to help you overcome this little predicament you find yourself in.
What is this, a dream? Or is someone actually playing games with me? Speaking words that pierce like arrows, teasing me with the hope of salvation beyond my reach. I have had strange dreams recently. Of times before the curse, and a meeting that never occurred. So, this is a dream. But you have entered it from reality. Exquisite. Very reminiscent of the methods I typically use. For 1,000 years, none have come so close to me. And I assure you, none ever will again. But you... I like you more and more, my hound. Perhaps I have no need of that stupid peacock anymore. I could let you tear him apart if you wish. I know where a tool lies that will let you clip his wings. The evidence of his crimes. Something he's been hiding from his Pitaxian allies. But he could not hide it from me. Remember this name, White Rose Abbey. That is where Iravetti would usually meet with me in the past. And the place where you will find your tool against him.
Okay, we'll leave with a scolding remark. I mean, we won't dance to your tune, but we're clearly dancing our way to White Rose Abbey, aren't we? But we'll just see, just put her on. Exactly, we've told her we know what's going on. That indicates that we won't go there, but of course we're going to flippy well go there, aren't we? But we just want to wave a finger. Don't get your hopes up, love.
Oh, you can always refuse. Then the peacock will simply peck you to death and gain your kingdom for his own. And I still gain another grain for the Apology.
The Apology? Nice name for a cup of grains of fallen kingdoms. Right, we need to return home. And how do we do that, exactly? Yeah, we've actually helped her on the way. Taking down our Marg, for example, that was a grain there. Taking down the Stag Lord, another grain. If we take down Pitax, that'll be another grain. Okay, so this has been a really fascinating session, I must say. Really fascinating. Piecing together some of the gaps, some of the things we knew already, but not in their entirety. It's given us a bit more kind of context to the situation, a bit more of a backstory. Really, really, this has been a fun session here. Really enjoyed this. And wake up. Oh. Okay, let's have a quick look. See what we can see. Now we know everything about our enemy, about her past, about the curse and the punishment she suffered, and about the artifact called Briar she's trying to find. We kind of maybe know where that is, you know. Linzi took a drawing of it potentially in that dream. Maybe. Right, yeah, so that's what we saw. Again, Tristan. Part of her soul is being put into an artifact. She's trying to find that. She was defeated by a beast and brought to justice. And then she was cursed and obliged. Of course, she wasn't so evil in the days before the curse. She just got delusions of grandeur a little bit, didn't she? Tried to overreach, overextend. And that's caused quite the cataclysmic chain of events for various kingdoms, did it not? Right, anyway, so now we know how potentially to bring down Iravetti, and that is to explore White Rose Abbey. Something within there is hidden. And also in here, I already know this because I was looking how to complete the set, is one of the... Is it the Technic League set that we were trying to get together? I think it is. So we need to make sure that we don't leave this place without taking that. So we must remember that. But anyway, we are up to 50 minutes near enough, so we haven't got time to start this. So in the next session, we head out to White Rose Abbey to see what lay within. Oh, exciting stuff. But before we enter White Rose Abbey, the first task, of course, will be to see if we can remove Linzi's armour. But yeah, to see whether or not that is a success, join me next time. Until then, see you soon.